my goodness. Najee. Kenny Pickett also. And he banks out. No, oh my, what's going on? Let's go, TD! What the hell was that? Let's go! Bennett! Yes! Let's go! Alrighty, Steelers Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. We have a very, very fun show today, and I want to bring in my good mate straight away, the Arsenal DB. What is happening, mate? What's going on, DB?
What's up, Steelers Nation?
Are you feeling okay? Are you all right?
I'm perfectly fine. I had a bad dream that the Steelers lost 30-7 against the 49ers. I woke up, I was like, that didn't happen. You know, I was like,
yeah. We'll just count that as the preseason game.
It was a scrimmage game. Yeah, this is week one right here. This is week one.
Yeah, we could do that, right? Because they had the 3 preseason games, and then we can have that could be number 4. I don't know if we've spoken, but what are your quick thoughts? That was a pretty bad game, wasn't it, last week? And then we'll move into Browns.
Yeah, the game was just it just fell off. Like some of the timing, it's really like a few tweaks they can make. Like a few tweaks, run the ball more, get timing better with the receivers, and the defense can make tackles. Then you a different score, really.
Yeah, I watched back that Levi Wallace when Christian McCaffrey did the old spin move. He hit the circle button.
Mm-hmm.
And he just got he ran down the box, made the tackle, and next minute McCaffrey was gone. It was a great move by him. I was like, man, I wish you could try and tackle. But we are here to move on. Pretty much, as tomorrow the game is on Monday Night Football. But let's go over some of the games and maybe what are some of the surprises you saw today in today's NFL scores. What have you seen so far?
The main surprise is probably the Bengals falling to 0-2.
Yeah.
Last year they struggled a little bit too. They lost to us and they lost to the Cowboys, and then they still made the AFC title game. But this year, it's just the offense that seemed off. Joe Burrow had probably a few drives, 2 drives in that whole entire game. We kind of got it going a little bit. I had Joe Burrow on my fantasy team, so I was watching the game. He had 4 points at first. He threw a pick, dropped down to 1 fantasy point, but he came back, scored a touchdown to T. Higgins twice. It's just like the Bengals just fell off. They don't feel like the same Bengals that had that dominant offense where they can just make home run hit plays.
And he might be hurt too. Is he hurt? I saw on Twitter. Is that right?
I think he had the calf injury. Yeah,
he had again. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, Bengals. I said that Ravens would win, but Bengals 0-2. They might be able to get out of that, but it's kind of good to see. And it also reminds that Steelers Nation, look, it's only one game and it's not the end of the world. That's what today we're going to discuss. If the Browns win today, will the world end on after the game? Because that's what it feels like. But also in other scores too, like the 49ers and Rams right now at 17-17. So it's any given Sunday. If the Rams win, then I don't think it's as bad as a loss, because then if we beat the Rams, I don't know. Giants, they're a bad team at the moment, 28-14. Cowboys are winning 18-10. Commanders losing 14-21 to Broncos. Falcons are 2-0. What do you think about that?
The Falcons can run the football. Arthur Smith, the head coach, all he preaches is run. And Desmond Ridder, he basically had Desmond Ridder play like a game manager role. Desmond Ridder's pretty good, though. He has some moments where he go out there and flash, get the rushing touchdown. But most of the time, you just got to tell them, don't turn the ball over. And, just hand it off to your running backs, quick passes to the outside, check downs, take those, and just move sticks.
Yeah, so they're a surprise. I thought the Packers were going to win that game as well, and I got that one wrong, 25-24. The Bills smashed the Raiders, so they bounced back after their bad loss last week. So they're 1-1. Ravens 2-0, of course, beat the Bengals, which the Ravens fans will be all high and mighty about that, but it was a pretty close game. Seahawks beat the Lions 37-31 in a kind of a shootout. Another upset too, I thought, was Titans 27 beat the Chargers, and now they're 0-2.
Yeah,
so we haven't got it that bad, do we? Really? We haven't got. It's not over yet. Steelers Nation. It feels like it's going to be the end of the world tomorrow if we lose. But there are other bad teams out there. Titans win 27-24. Herbert throws 300 yards, 2 TDs, but they can't get the job done. Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield's on fire. Who would have thought they would have been 2-0? But they're 2-0 versus the Bears. They're versus the Bears. So Chase Claypool today. Chase Claypool caught a pass.
He caught a pass.
A TD actually. TD.
Oh, I didn't see that. I clicked on the channel. I seen Mike Evans running 70 yards. He had 5 catches for almost 200 yards. Yeah. I think so. Mike Evans was playing good. I didn't see the Chase Claypool touchdown. I seen Joshua Dobbs and James Conner touchdown though.
Yeah, well, that's two former Steelers, and we're gonna have Steeler Nation saying, "Bring back Connor, bring back Joshua Dobbs." You know what's gonna happen.
I'll take Connor back.
Yeah, Connor's good. Connor's good. Connor would be good for he's always good for goal line. He's good for good, 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah,
We also have the Chiefs won 17-9 against the Jaguars. I thought the Jaguars won that game, and the Colts won 31-20. But their quarterback Richardson, I think, went out too for an injury.
concussion.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So it's anyone's game. But we are here to talk about the Browns, and the question, the overall question I want to ask you, DB, is: will the world end if they lose tomorrow?
if we lose tomorrow, we go to sleep and wake back up. The world gonna be still there. The world's still gonna be there.
I reckon.
I don't think so because the Browns. If this is the Browns like of the old days, then maybe. But the Browns not like they're not a terrible team. They're kind of pretty good now too with Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson still trying to find his way a little bit. But Nick Chubb is an absolute beast, and the old line is a beast too as well. They can run the ball on anybody. And last year they did beat us in prime time on Thursday, so it wouldn't be like a shocker. But hopefully we can win the game though.
Because I kind of think the world might end if they lose this game. Honestly, I think Pittsburgh might just blow up. I just think the fans might go crazy. But here's the thing too: will Mike Tomlin get credit for the win if they win versus the Browns? Because you just said they're a good team. Do you think that's going to happen?
Most like well from me, yeah, but from for some other fans, I don't know about that. You're like, nope, they won in spite of Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, it's always funny, isn't it? It's like when someone's doing really bad, you go and kick them in the ribs, you kick them in the face, you stomp on their head, and they're saying they're doing a bad job, and that's easy to do that. But the minute they start doing something great or good, there's no recognition whatsoever.
Yeah.
If Tomlin does win this game, I think it shows you that it's only one game. And of course, like my biggest worry, I guess, is I want to see them be consistent and start to build something like the Eagles are doing, or even like the Bucks now, or someone just getting wins in good order and playing good football. We didn't see that last week, but if the Steelers bounce back to get a win and they win like, I don't know, 25 or 24-21, something like that, then you have to give credit to Mike Tomlin. And then the fans, most of us, well, part of Steeler Nation, I'd probably say 15%, like they call him out so easily, but then when he wins one, there's nothing being said. So I just think that's crazy to me. But what are your overall thoughts? Like, is this a must-win game, you think?
Well, speaking technically, of course, yeah, all the games are must win, especially the division games. So I'll say yes because it's on prime time. You have an opportunity to bounce back and show your team that, like, Coach Tomlin gonna preach a message in the locker room and tell them they still believe in them and trust them. Because last year when we was down, like, what it was like 2-6.
2-6, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of came all the way back. So he's saying, like, through adversity, you got to know how to bounce back after big time losses or like after some letdowns. So hopefully they can go on Monday and defend the home because we can't lose back to back at home. We got to defend the land a little bit.
Yeah, you'd think so. Like when the schedule came out, I was pretty high on the Steelers to beat the 49ers. But if I even went back in time and said, okay, they lose that one, then they should be able to win this one or have at least try because they are at home and you can't lose 2 at home. And also you can't lose 1 to an AFC North opponent. And then you have the Browns and Ravens would be 2-0, I guess. Yep. So we and the Bengals would be 0-2. I don't know, man. I just kind of think the whole week's been. I kind of want to get the bad taste out of like our mouths, kind of thing. You know how everything's kind of panned out.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did see Deontay Johnson out, and now Cam. Who do you think's going to like step in for Deontay Johnson?
For Johnson, it was already running a lot of plays for Allen Robinson and of course GP and Calvin Austin. I probably say Gunner. They probably use Gunner a little bit more. He showed a little bit in preseason that he can like do some sweeps here and there, some screen passes, and like some short stuff. And he fight for extra yards too. So they probably use him in different situations.
Did you see that idea about Hunter Renfrow being signed or Mike Evans getting signed by the Steelers because Deontay's out like 2 games or 4 games?
Nah, I haven't seen that
one. Hey, there's some weird ones out there. Also, the minute that Cameron Hayward went down to, they wanted to sign back. Is it JJ Watt?
Like JJ, yeah. I think JJ done. He might come back, but he never said no. But you never know.
I did a video like the very start of the season. I was like, Could be a chance. Could be a chance, right?
Mhm.
But I feel like now we're just harassing the guy. I feel like we're just like guy that one of the neighbors are like always checking in on their neighbor all the time. And not invited guests, like eating someone's cereal. Like, hey man, do you want to come over and play with us? No, he doesn't. I don't know, man.
my,
I think so too. Oh, sorry, you go.
my only fantasy trade for the Steelers would be Aaron Donald because he's from Pittsburgh. To bring him back home for like a 1 year, 2 year deal. That'd be great.
Like $1 million though.
Yeah,
like more than $1 million. No, I don't know, man. I think with Deontay, it sucks. I think he's a really good player because he made a really good catch too. You know that one where he injured himself, going down the field as well. Made
a big time run.
And then next minute, hamstring, like just pulled up the hamstring. So I was like,
the soft tissue injuries are the worst. Those are the ones that keep coming back, nagging you throughout the season.
Yeah. So you reckon when he does get back, he won't be the same player?
I think it'd be good, but they might have to restrict it a little bit because sometimes the hamstring can get re-injured. And like he most likely will try to wrestle himself back because he's a competitor. He want to play, so they got to make sure they manage him right.
You're a big wrestling fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what was funny? My mate sent me that meme about Aaron Rodgers and when do you remember when Vince McMahon ran down to the ring and he pulled
into his quads?
You see that? I was like, man, that's bad. Like, I don't know when he did that, but Vince ran all the way down. He hit his legs on the side of the.
It was the Royal Rumble because I think John Cena and Batista eliminated each other at the same time, and he came out there to fix it, and he took both quads getting in the ring. I'm like, man,
did you see that meme? That was the meme with Rodgers. Like Rodgers was here for a minute or something, and he runs down, and the next minute just lays down. I was like, I think he was in there for like 4 plays.
Yeah, 4 plays. Yeah, he said he might have a chance to come back by the playoffs,
and that's why I brought it up. Okay, that's why I brought it up because I want your opinion. Yeah, I cannot believe this. I will hate Rodgers forever if he comes back, and I mean forever, ever, like even till the day he kicks it. Right? I won't even cry one tear. If he comes back in the playoffs and they take away, say for instance, Zach Wilson makes the Jets go to the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. And then Rodgers comes back and they bench Wilson, I will forever hate the Jets more than the Bengals. I reckon that would be the most awful. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, the guy gets the team to the playoffs, right? Playoffs. And then if Rodgers comes back, hey guys, I'm back. Like, is he allowed just to go and play and take his spot?
Well, I guess if they traded for him, Wilson was there and they traded, and he was on the roster when they traded for Rodgers, so they might as well say, hey, you just temporary employment. I'm going to switch you out.
I thought about it. I was like, hang on. Okay, I saw the tweet. It was like, Adam Schefter said something here and there, whatever. He said, okay, Rodgers could be back for the playoffs. But I was like, well, then how is he going to get to the playoffs? Zach Wilson's going to charge the Jets all the way to the playoffs, wild card division, whatever. If he gets there, next minute, if Rodgers does play, they're going to bench him week 1 of wild card. That means he did all the work. I was like, I reckon that would be the most stupidest thing to do to a player. I would be so.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it because he might be rusty. Like he missed like 6 months of a few months of football. He might be real rusty. So he come back in a wild card game. And Aaron Rodgers haven't had the best success in the playoffs the past few years. So I'll probably just wait till next season.
You know what though? You wouldn't want to do it to Zach Wilson because it'd be the hide your mum tour. Like he'd have to go on a sea of like all around the cities and go look after everyone's mums. I just think it would be the most Jets things to do, or one of the most comical things that someone gets you that far and then you bench him. I don't think
Zach Wilson will give him that far though. I had a feeling the Jets might look for somebody else in a couple of weeks. He just fumbled. Oh, yeah, turnover already.
Oh, really? Just
Micah Parsons return for a touchdown.
Right now? Like right now?
Yeah.
Wow. Hang on.
That was on the receiver though. The receiver fumbled the ball, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm a bit late then. So that just happened right now. That's fantastic. Talking about him. Yeah, they might even go to the playoffs. I just thought that was kind of funny. Rodgers can come back to the playoffs, and I was like, the dude's like 40 years old or whatnot. Oh my goodness.
They had a lot of rumors about that. Yeah, said the Jets might call Big Ben and Tom Brady and stuff. I'm like,
okay, please. We're here to laugh today. Please run me through this one. Big Ben to the Jets, please.
They had a list. It was a list. They had Kaepernick put himself on the list. The Jets said he wasn't calling them.
So did AB. AB tweets himself out and he's ready to play. You know what I mean? It
Yep.
just doesn't.
They're trying to create the Killer Bee Steelers again. Try to bring Big Ben, bring AB. They had Le'Veon Bell a few years ago. Maybe they bring him back too. But I don't think Big Ben playing though because
you know what they should do?
he's not in good shape.
They should honestly, Big Ben should invite AB and Le'Veon Bell to like his podcast and be one of the most awkwardest podcasts I think.
Now, I think Le'Veon Bell might be cool, but I don't know about Antonio Brown though.
I just wouldn't. 1 minute Bell would be like kind of nice and like talking normal or whatever. The next minute he'd start running routes in the basement.
Antonio Brown, they might need security. He might attack Big Ben.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Because I saw what I saw. Like this week's been a weird week because we got with the extra week. We should be playing now, but we're Monday Night Football. We had AB say, "Hey, look at me, I'm a Steeler," and then everyone started saying it was a rumor. It's funny how rumors start because he tweets that the rumor starts, and it's not a rumor from the Steelers; it's a rumor from him. Same with Big Ben. Big Ben going to the Jets. It's not going to happen. Big Ben's not going to come out of retirement. And as you know how fun doing this right now, podcasting is. You're not going to take away your millions of dollars, your family, your beer drinking to go and play for the Jets. Not going to happen. I just thought that was ridiculous. A notion of him getting a call, signing a 1-year deal for the Jets, and then you have to play a whole 16. Ben may come back. The only time I think he would be like week 17 or week 19 or something like that. They really need him.
I feel like Big Ben, he never was in good shape while he was playing. So if he's retired, trying to bring him back into play and the injuries and the wear and tear, I don't think big idea. Brady, he might come back, but I don't think he'll play for his rival Jets. He just got his own jersey retired with the Patriots in the Hall of Fame.
And he's also working for the Raiders too, Brady.
Yep.
It's just like we put these names out there. You might as well just say anything with any name. Like he's not coming back to the Jets. It's not happening there. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of crazy. But okay, let's keep going on the same theme. What do you think if legit tomorrow, if we do lose the game tomorrow, right? We've talked a few things, but if we lose the game tomorrow, can the Steelers still turn it around? And also, double question: what do they need to do to make it not feel like a loss? What do we need to see?
The first question, I think so, because remember that 1 year, I think we tied the Browns. We had another loss. We was like 0-1-1, and we played the Buccaneers. I think it was on Monday Night Football. Buccaneers on Monday Night Football against Ryan Fitzpatrick when he was going crazy. Yeah. And then we won that game and we started winning. I think it was we got to 7-2 eventually. I think after we beat the Jaguars and stuff. So I think the Steelers could turn around. They always start off a little shaky most of the time. They start off like 1-3 or 2-3, but then they always pick up steam later in the season. So I think for to make it feel not like a loss, they got to at least be competitive. It can't be 30-7. It got to be at least we lost last week by 10 points. I wouldn't have been too mad. If we lose this week by a field goal or something, or 6 points, where you competitive, you competing, you came down to the wire, I wouldn't be too angry because the team put effort in. But last week, you just saw the effort wasn't there. They gave up on plays, stopped chasing people down to tackle. They just gave up, really.
But there are some times though, I've never played physical sport, but I've played a lot of tennis and whatnot, and then sometimes the play is better. Really, honestly, you just go into a game, you think you're going to win, and the next minute you're losing by 10 points. You're like, far out, you just realize they're a better team, and we got smacked. I think that's what it comes down to. The Steelers weren't ready for that game. They got smacked. I think Kenny got humbled a bit. There was some talk around that Kenny's a bust, and did you see any of that narrative around town after
Yeah, I've seen a lot of it. It was like, oh, Kenny sucked. He didn't find a new quarterback. They should have got this guy or got that guy. I'm like, just one game. I think
people forget too when you're in the pocket. They're like, oh, that guy was open. But that's easy to say when you're sitting in a chair with a beverage and circling it. Well, not when you have 4 down line.
Fred Warner and Nick Bosa right in your face. Yeah. And you're trying to throw it over the top.
Oh, yeah, but that guy was open. It's like, yeah,
sure. That Geno Smith mic'd up. He was like, oh, my God. We see Aaron Donald coming in. And that right there is scary.
Yeah. And also, isn't when you wear the helmet too, the vision you have is it's like blinders. It's like, you can't see too very well with the helmet and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, I think most time quarterback helmets, they always wear the skew. So they have the open face mask. But sometimes you still can't see on certain spots, like your blind side a little bit.
Well, the only thing that I wish we were versing Sam Darnold because he was seeing ghosts, but we weren't seeing that. But you know what, Kenny Pickett, man, I just don't understand. I think what I really do understand though is is I think the overreaction, I think, to everything is really to do with social media. And the platform we're on now is that we can comment so fast, so quick. And then, if we win tomorrow, it's kind of like not back to normal, but I think the team will get hopefully better and learn from it.
Mhm.
But it's kind of funny that, we are so high and then so down on our Steelers. But Kenny played bad. You have to admit that. Like, he played pretty bad. He
Yeah.
forced that football to DJ, was really bad pass. You're like, why? The other bloke, Troy's cousin, got one. I can't pronounce his name. The 49ers dude.
I think it's Siafunga.
Halafunga.
Yeah, Halafunga. Yeah, like around that. Yeah,
Yeah. He got one too. So
he's an All Pro too. He's very good.
yeah, and they were forcing passes left, right, and center. They're passing too many things, and it's funny how we do overreact quite a bit, but that's all part of the social media and part of being a fan too. And also, if you're at the stadium, that would suck. It would have been a bad time.
Man.
A few guys, I know Rod in the chat was here from this. He was there for a bit, and some people walked out, and I was like, it was
a fan on TV screen had to like, it's my first Steelers game.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, I need a refund. That happened.
I couldn't imagine, like, I'd be pretty annoyed too going all that way if it was my first one. And say it was my first one last week, right?
Mhm.
I flew there 14 hours, I had to come back in a week's time. I would be pretty annoyed. I'd be pretty pissed off. But I think we'll get better. Like, we hear the narratives. They want to fire Tom, they want to fire Canada. I kind of see the Canada thing. No one's yet again. Terrell Austin is using Matt Canada as a shield. Like, no one talks about Terrell Austin getting how his defense led up so many different.
Yeah, the DBs like last year his secondary was good. Had the most interceptions. But this year I don't know what's going on with the corners. Like, they can't guard like man to man. And JPJ, he can't play like 6 snaps. He got to play he need to be starting really.
Well, they said they're trying to work him in. That's what I've seen. They said they're trying to work him into the game. I can kind of see that theory. Do you think they played Desmond King or someone like that this week too into the game?
I can see Desmond King in, but I don't know if it'll be much. Well, it might be better than what they did last week. But Desmond King, he ain't the same player he once was. He got released from the Texans. Texans was down bad. He released from the Texans, and then like I don't know what happened. He used to be very good. I think he was an All Pro before, second team All Pro, and a Pro Bowler before. But just he lost his kind of like pizzazz. Like, you get released from the Texans, and Texans won like 2 games last year. You already know it's like this is bad.
You know what I saw too reminds me of that too on Twitter, and I probably should stay away from Twitter. I did see that it was so high on Omar Khan. I saw a few tweets saying Omar Khan just hired all these bums. You know what I mean? They just hired like mid-tier guys, like the guys at Holcomb, the Peterson was old stuff. I was like, the overreaction is just insane. It got to a point where I was like, I probably should turn off Twitter. I don't know.
Peterson got to play more in the slot because outside he was getting cooked a little bit because
Well, so was Wallace too. Like, the whole secondary was just wide open. It was like
and KZ and like Neal, they wasn't getting downhill. Like when they playing zone defense, the crosser routes was just wide open because in that cover 3 you can just run a drag, you can run like a little crosser across the middle. The safety was come up. The safety just kept standing right there, let Brandon Ayuk catch the ball, and he ran out the catch, and they missed tackles. And like, it's just bad.
Did you watch the Deion Sanders game last night? The
college
game? Yeah. Did you know the other side what they were doing the drag route?
The drag route every play. Colorado State did the same thing every time. That's how you beat the cover 3. Same thing over and over.
Yeah. I'm starting to get into college a bit more. I don't like the team, but I'm starting to watch games like that when I can because it's pretty exciting. I thought the game was awesome. I thought that Colorado State was going to win because all the drag routes was working, and there was one guy number 15. He would catch it and would just work upfield. Like that was tearing them apart, like going crazy. And then they eventually came back and won. But I don't know, man. I think the overreaction to me. Look, I do think if the Browns win tomorrow, the world will end. But you're right. It depends how they win.
Yeah.
Like if they win by 26, 25, or 27, 24 by field goal, we go, oh, we almost got them. We look better. See what happens. But then if the Steelers win, it's back to the drawing board. There's still a lot of football to go.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most exciting thing you're looking forward to, or the player you think needs to really step up and take control of the game?
I'll probably say, probably Najee. They gotta give him more chances because you can't just run the ball twice.
7 times, something like that.
Yeah, so you can't give him the ball at like a few times like that and just give up on the run. You got to keep pounding the football and keep running. But so hopefully Najee can get like 20 carries because the last time he played the Browns, he did all right, on the last game of the season. And he had his career high against the Browns a few years ago. And that game, I think Big Ben last home game. So I think Najee should have a big time game.
Yeah, I think well, they've also calling for his name too. But I think the Steelers pretty much abandoned the run last week, didn't they? And we talked
Yeah.
about off air before that the Falcons ran the ball 45 times. The Steelers weren't doing that. They went to, the second play was a jet sweep. It didn't work. And they started to pass, and they just couldn't get any momentum anywhere. And then by that time, they were giving up they had like 22 minutes of possession. It did feel like the exact same thing we saw with Matt Canada's offense.
We got to run the ball
what were
because
your
can't pass
thoughts
it like that.
What were your thoughts with Matt Canada and his speech or his commentary the other day?
He said, did he say like he didn't care or something?
He said he didn't care. He said more like it's only one game.
Yeah, he said that. He said that like 15 times last year. So like that right there, I feel like he should care a little bit because he's been here for 2 years and he hasn't found any type of rhythm. I care eventually. I'm like, okay, I care now. I'm like, yeah, that was bad. Let me go to the drawing board and go look on Madden or something, get some better play calls. I don't know.
Oh, they should. They should go to Madden. Or at least Colorado State run all the drag routes are fantastic.
Bring an Xbox on the side of the field and be like, hey, what Madden say? He said, run the cross, run the crosser.
Can't surely they could I just think about when I play Madden. He's like, you can't just use CA3 like that. He's got the best speed. Like start on the left hand side and then make him run across the middle and then he'll be open.
The Dolphins do with Tyreek. They line him up so many different places. Like in motion, he had motion in the backfield and he'll run out for his route, a wheel route or an out route. He'll line up everywhere. So it's kind of difficult when you guarding a guy that fast and you be off balance trying to stay with them. You got to start mixing it up a little bit.
I have found though with his offense, and you go back and I watched Alex Kozora, and it's like it is boring. It's a very boring offense. But when it does work, I guess we're quiet, right? So we're very chop and change. But I did find that it just was the same play, same guys in motion. Connor Hayward moves, tight end moves around a bit, and then the next minute they run like 4 verts or whatever. They did like 4 verts into the end zone. There's no creativity towards too. But I want a bit of a quick break here. We have Jeremiah Yoda says, "Hey there, Mark. We need to go into the game tomorrow night. Thinking positive. Hopefully, Steelers will be giving us something to think positive about." I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, though, if the Browns win, will the world end? I got this feeling it might end. I have this little feeling because, they haven't won there in 20 regular games in a row.
That's crazy.
But we were saying off air, right?
Mm-hmm.
What year were you born?
Oh, 2001.
All right. Keep with that. I'm 1989, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Browns haven't won since October 5, 2003. Right? In regular season. So you were 3 years old or something? I was
probably 2, yeah, probably 2-ish, yeah.
2, and I was 4 or 5. And that was the last time in regular season the Browns have won in Heinz Field. And actually now they've changed the name to Acrisure Stadium. So it's
I can't call it Acrisure. Yeah, I can't call it that.
No, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny, man. That's the last time. We had back then in 2004 or 5 or oh no, I wasn't. I'm older than that. Wait.
You said 89, right?
I was 5 years old. Yeah, like 15 years old, man. I was like, hang on. I'm not that young. I'm 30. Oh man. No, I'm well, that's when the Madden came out. When Madden 04 came out, that's when the last time that they won. So I just think that's really funny. So you were a young Tucker. I was in year 6 or in school. There was Game Boys still out there. I guess around that age, I think. There was no smartphones. There was all this stuff going on back in the day. We've all had our lives, and there's probably not new kids from then. They just never went there. And then we know that Big Ben had one of the best records against them too. So that's what I think. If the Browns win tomorrow, something's going to happen in the universe where it goes, it's going to the simulation, the glitch is going to max out, and something's going to happen. Just 46 says, "Well, guys, you make me feel so bad. I'm sorry." I thought I was younger for a moment then too. Carl says, "Madden, yeah, that was my first game as well. I had 2004." Still the best. Madden 2004 is still one of the best Maddens, I think, in all Madden history.
Yeah, Madden lost his touch. Yeah.
It's a terrible game.
Yeah, I want NFL Street back. That's all I want back.
Yes, so do I. I've been trying to get that back. Like they will never bring it back because Roger Goodell doesn't want that stuff.
Yeah,
Did you ever see? You know the guy called Angry Joe, the gamer guy, Angry Joe. Have you heard that guy?
I don't think so.
Oh, I'll have to send you a link. There's a guy they called Angry Joe. So he rips on Madden like every single year, and it's actually more fun him ripping on Madden for the hour than it is playing the game because the game is absolutely.
It's basically the same game for the past 4 years, just better graphics and like they like lower the lighting a little bit. Like, oh look, it changed up a little bit. You got a new mechanic or new cleats or something.
Yeah. The grass can go left and right, you know. Oh, we got reps on the field. It's like we had reps in 2006, you know. The hit stick is back. Well, the hit stick was there in 2007, you know.
Yeah.
There's also another guy out there too. He talked about they removed like 80 features from the game, and games shouldn't be doing that. They should be adding and like making things better. But they removed all the features, and now they're all about the money and the Madden Ultimate Team, which is crazy. Pittsburgh Toasters have had 56 revolutions around the sun. Well, if the Browns win tomorrow, we're all done. I think the world's going to explode. All right, let's get into some Brown stuff. What do we think? How do we stop the Browns? What do the Steelers have to do on defense to really stop them?
Really, you just gotta. Deshaun Watson's still rusty, so all you gotta do really just pressure him. So like send different blitz packages and pressure him. You can't let Mark Cooper beat you because I don't think anybody on our defense.
I think he might be out.
Yeah, he'll be out.
I think so. Well, let me check. I think he might be out.
If he's out, that's not good. But for us, and trying to guard him is good. Because last time he went crazy on us.
Oh, they don't know yet. It's
like questionable
play. Yeah.
Oh. See, if that does happen, then most likely the Browns will go like full run approach, and the Steelers not too good at stopping the run. But one way to do it, you got to get guys like to clear the edge. Most time when the big runs happen, McCaffrey had a 68-yard run on the edge, a 23-yard run on the edge, a 19-yard run on the edge. The Steelers got to find a way to like get side on the sideline. Cole Holcomb and those guys got to get to the edge and make a play and like get a stop. Safety's got to come up and make some stops too.
Yeah, you know what? There was one play I thought it might have changed the momentum of the game. There was the 4th and 1 where they got the 49ers got a 4th and 1 conversion to I think Kittle.
Mm-hmm,
and
yep.
Roberts kind of ran too slow to get him to pick him up. But I thought if they would have had that they might have changed it wasn't one player, but still. No, I agree with you, man. I think they got to stop the run too. I want to bring up this one. We have Yuli in the house says just bought 7 terrible towers to start construction on the terrible tower wall back in the Berg. Well, it won't matter if the Browns lose, the world's going to end. So, no, that's awesome. I wonder how big the wall is though. That's amazing.
That'd be pretty cool.
It's just like a massive wall, and there's like a secret door behind it. Goes into the land of Narnia, like where all the steel legends may lie. No, I agree with you, man. I think this game is. I'm pretty keen. I'm getting pretty hyped up now. I'm pretty excited to see, what can happen. What do the Steelers need to do on offense then? If they're going to run the ball, do we have to do the same thing?
Yes, we got to match it. We got to run the football. We need to see play action. I want to see Darnell Washington get the ball in his hands too. He's like the same size as Gronk, like 6'7", 270 pounds. I don't know, he's the best route runner, but all you gotta do is just toss it to him. Let's see what he can do. Pat Freiermuth, I want to see the tight ends utilized a lot because like the Browns secondary is cool, but they like smaller though. They got a lot of smaller guys. You can attack mismatches in the secondary. GP can have a mismatch over in the secondary. Denzel Ward is a nice corner, but he's still smaller. He's like 5'9", 5'10"-ish. So you can try to attack those guys and attack the secondary, the safeties, and try to make something happen with your bigger targets out there.
Did you see? I gotta show this photo. Did you see this picture of the Steelers pictures? I'll bring it up. Did you see the little video they did today? The Steelers had their like team picture. It must have been from like training camp. Are you there? You didn't see that?
I didn't pop up yet.
Oh, okay. No. I'll show you now. Yeah. So sorry, I thought you froze.
Oh, no.
I was like, who am I talking to? No one. No. So the Steelers did a team pictures and stuff like that. But when you're talking about Darnell Washington, this guy's massive. If you're right though, they need to use him.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try and save it now, and I'll see what comes up. Here we go. That did a pretty good job. Yeah, the dude's massive. Like compared to everyone else, he's what 6'8", and we saw him like do one good block, but they didn't get him involved in the run game last week, did they?
Nah, not too much. We got to start using him, making him the lead blocker in some like packages, and just give him the ball too. Like give some targets out there.
Yeah, is this coming up? Hang on. Oh,
Nope.
it's so slow. Yeah, look at the guy. He's huge.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah, look at him. Get the football, bro. Like he's a massive guy,
like a
man.
basketball player playing football,
Yeah.
like a power forward or something.
And so's Frymove's pretty big too. That's Rodney
Yeah.
Worth at 87 there. There's by the way, no Gentry. We have Connor Hayward there too. But Darnell is like a massive guy right there on the left-hand side. So you've got to try and get him involved in something, which would be red zone targets, would be feeding the football. I don't know. I'm kind of with you. I kind of want to see just like run the ball more than 9 times. Do you think we see a lot of Jalen Warren in this game too?
Yeah, I think so. We got at least find a way to get 45, at least 40 carries and split them between Najee, Warren, and McFarland probably get something too. He probably get like 5 touches as well. He's just speed.
Yeah. But what happens then with if we go down by 10 points, should they still be running the football? At least trying to?
I think it depends on like where you are in the quarter. Like if you like in the fourth quarter, and depending on what the time is, I think you probably can still maybe run the football. But like if it's like late in the fourth, you have to pass it, come pass happy. But most of the time when you're like playing behind, you can still run the ball. A lot of teams try to like think you got to go in the air, try to match the other team, but you can still play your game and just play a little slower and just use the run to set up your play action pass. Because Kenny Pickett is always good when he plays like on the move. When he's running on the move, he's at the pocket and scrambling. They want to make him to a pocket passer last game, and it's not his strong suit, really.
Yeah, and it was just everything was off. I think in the passing game, it wasn't working until that 2-minute drill. Robbins had a few things, but nothing was really standing out. But I agree, and even some of the interceptions, you're like, man, he kind of forced the pass, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. What about them? What about our mate TJ? We reckon he gets that sack and gets the most sacks?
Oh yeah, for sure. TJ has, I think, a career of 15 sacks versus the Browns, an interception, forced fumble, in 10 games versus the Browns. He most likely going to have about 3. I think 3.
3.
He always does well in prime time.
Yeah, and you know what does suck too? Because I think Cameron Hayward going down as well to stop the run, like that's going to be very tough. I think they have to bring in someone. Maybe they start. I don't know if they start Ogunjobi, Watts. I don't know. Who do you think starts there? Like it's going to be tough.
I think Ogunjobi, he was a little banged up. He got injured. I think last game a little bit. He might be playing. I think so. I think he's playing. But
but
most likely he'll probably start unless they want to
be the 3 at the front.
Unless they want to run with some of the young guys, Cameron Bennon, DeMarvin Leal, Ogunjobi.
Leal might be in there too. Yeah, Leal might play more snaps. Who's the other bloke there? Loudermilk might play more snaps.
Loudermilk.
These are guys that haven't done too much.
See, Loudermilk he look like he moves too slow. He's good occasionally, but sometimes like trying to get lateral to stop the run, don't work out too well.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about the run. If the run game, because I'm not worried about Watson, I'm just worried about the run game with Nick Chubb. I think he's a really good running back, and if they let McCaffrey had 150. Right, 150 over 200 yards, and if they start doing something like that, then the world may end.
Yeah.
Ooly dooly. Colton says here, a no Hubble screen to Austin could be effective. That sounds like a Pokemon strike, doesn't it? Yeah, man. I don't know. What do you think about Austin? He might be having a big game.
Yeah, they could use him. If the run game worked well, he'd be a perfect player to use to get that play action. Drop back and just take a shot to him, see what happens. But they got to get him involved like different ways, kind of like they did in preseason. The Falcons game where they had him like get like a little handoffs, little bubble screens, and like crosser routes, especially crosser routes because he's got that 4.3 speed. You can someone try to like chase him and follow him. It will be very tough and difficult for any like corner to try to do that.
We got a great question in. I can't answer this. I don't know. Why don't you see Steelers receivers running free? Play design or receiver speed or route running?
They only have 3 routes: the out route, the comeback, and the curl.
I legit think it is. You watch a lot of the other, NFL games around, and you just see so many different creative things, and teams moving the ball down the field and guys open, and just like, how come we don't have that? And you go and watch the replay of what we did and the Steelers did. And yeah, just a lot of go routes, a lot of curls, Just there's nothing super creative where you're mismatching plays to get receivers open or you're clearing
Yeah.
out certain parts. You know what I mean? And a lot of NFL guys out there and quarterbacks out there and guys who study the film have said that Matt Canada doesn't clear out certain parts of the field with other guys using misdirection. So you use, I don't know, one bloke to clear out the safety away from someone else. This guy comes over, and that's like the play should go to this person. It's like they run individual routes, and then Kenny goes, okay, find the best matchup.
Yeah, and they never use the middle of the field. They never use the middle of the field
In the
ever.
preseason, they did. In the preseason, they used the middle of the field. And that's why I'm so excited. But you just didn't see anything happening in that game last week where when they started to move the ball down the field, it was the 2-minute drill to get back in the game, 20-7. And then after the break, McCaffrey runs 70 yards for a GD. And it's like, how many times have we seen that where they do something good and the next minute they do something bad? You know what I mean? So I that's a great question. I don't know if it is the running, is it the play design, is it receiver speed, is it route running, is it the players buying in, is it it's probably a combination of both, but I think a lot of it has to do on Canada's shoulders. You think he gets fired like the next 4 games if he's bad?
Knowing the Steelers, probably not. They probably just keep him to the end of the season and then be like, oh, well, we parted ways with him, mutually parting ways.
You know what though? Imagine if they did fight, say it went really bad, the next 4 games, we lose them all, right? And it's still time to come back. And they fire and they bring someone else in, or they give someone a promotion. The other guy, the passing guy, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but if he gets promoted, do you think it'll be like a sense of relief for Steelers fans to be like, oh, they finally got rid of Canada and see what's going to happen next?
Most likely not, because like then after that they'd be like, oh, who's gonna be the scapegoat? Like then you'd be like, they blame, they're gonna find somebody else to blame. They're going, oh, this guy right here is not doing too good either. I thought the Steelers should just really just like, even if Canada has success this year, you still move on and just find somebody who's like elite level NFL, like offensive coordinator.
Yeah, they need to spend some coin. They need to, you've got a lot of pieces, they got a lot of players that are very skillful, but in this offense, it comes down to Matt Canada says it. I say it's one game because it's one game on the schedule, but Matt Canada says it's one game because, well, it's only been one game, but no, it's been your whole career.
Yeah,
like the 3 years of it, right? The bye week in Canada will be cheese in line. I guess that's mainly still be bad. Fire Canada get Leftwich if he's free. I've heard that. We've heard the talk about they want to get big banners.
Byron Leftwich.
Yeah. They need someone like a passing coordinator, right? Someone like Glenn Thomas is our passing coordinator, but they need someone just to open things up. Like just get things moving. Like as you see all around the NFL, there are players and schemes and ideas that things are very creative. And the only thing creative like Matt Canada does is like the jet sweep or the I don't know, the flea flicker that might work, and then he gets all hyped up. It does seem very boring and stale, And when NFL, I think was it Stephen A. Smith called him out this week?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. He said Matt Canada got to go. He has to go. He got to be dramatic, but he has to go.
Yeah. So if they're all saying, and it can't just be the fan. If it's everyone saying it,
Snoop Dogg called him out last year.
Yeah, it seems like a thing. I just kind of like, you know what it is though. I got a picture of him. I just can't stand his hat. I'm not a fan of his hat. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like, he's probably a good guy and whatnot, but he's probably one of the most hated. Maybe besides Mike Tomlin, Matt Canada must be one of the most hated people in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, when they first hired him, I didn't understand it either because, like, what college he was at? He was at Maryland, right? Maryland.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
but he wasn't really that good there. Like he wasn't like dominating there. So they just hired him on. Maybe he's somebody's friend or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a certain tweet out there somewhere that lists all his accomplishments or his coaching tree or whatever he has for where he's been. And the ranks all his offensive ranks, and it's like 70, 60, 50. You know what I mean? Like really, really high. But I just can't stand his hat. Now I'm still hopeful. I'm hopeful for the team, and because we saw it last year when they started running the football and they won 4 games in a row. It was like there was no one talking about Canada then. It was like nice and quiet. But this game, I tell you what, I will be very frustrated if we see the same thing.
Receiver sweep on 3rd down.
Yeah, if you see this the first drive and we go, we get 5 yards and we go 3 and out, what are you going to feel?
Same thing we've been feeling for the past 2 years. he basically, I don't know, a lot of people got mad at Randy Fidner and they wanted him fired, but Randy Fidner and Matt Canada was basically calling the same plays. They really had no guy like dominate the offense since like Ty Haley. Ty Haley, he dominated. Bruce Arians was good, but he like his play style gets you hit a lot. He liked to like throw down the field and stuff. But I think Ty Haley was the last play caller we had who was like had us dominating. You know, we always felt very confident in the offense. And Antonio Brown and Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Martavis Bryant, Marcus Wheaton, all those guys is out there. You just feel confident like they're gonna score every drive. And now we kind of hope for at least a field goal sometimes. We can get field goal range, maybe. Boswell hit a 55-yarder or something.
We didn't see balls last week. I didn't see balls once. I
Yeah.
saw balls hit the extra point. That was about it. Never saw balls on the field.
Bob's our best scorer on the team.
Yeah. Oh man, I hear you. I just kind of think tomorrow's going to go a few ways. If the Steelers, be competitive and they lose by 1 point, 2 points, then it sucks, right? It sucks. But you move on. We played a good game.
Mm-hmm.
If the Steelers don't turn up at all and play the same way as the 49ers and get absolutely, just lit up, then the world's going to explode. I think the world's going to end.
That happened, man.
Or if the Steelers win and we win by 3, 5, 7 points, then no one gives credit to anyone.
Yeah.
Like no one gives any credit to Coach Tomlin, to Austin, or to Matt Canada. But yeah, that's right. J Devil says Canada's here because Steelers don't fire coaches. It makes it, and you look. If we look back to this podcast in 3 months' time, the Steelers have won 10 games. Then it's all fine. That's why we're so overreactionary to everything. I think anyway.
Yeah.
But what can we do as fans? We all we can do is yell at clouds. And where does it get us? Nowhere.
Yeah. Just high blood pressure and take some years off your life.
Yeah. It doesn't get you anywhere, but we do know that the Steelers got to change something about the offense because, and I've even been calling not just on Canada, but the overall offense stunk last week, right? So you have to get better. Do you think this O-line can keep up with the Browns rush and Myles Garrett and those fellas? And who's the other guy? Zadarius Smith.
I think the O-line, Kenny gonna get sacked a few times probably. He'll get sacked by 2-3 times, but I think the O-line should do a good job. A solid job against them. If for some reason Myles Garrett, he's an amazing player, but he never had like a crazy game versus Steelers, like no crazy game where he just like go out there and just dominate.
Well, I think as well, like with AFC North football, I think the Steelers kind of match up to them every time we play them, right?
Yeah.
And I think going back to the Browns are a good side. Like they're a good side, right? They do have a lot of key guys on defense that can, I think Greg is a Delp at the corner. I think it's like Ward or someone in another corner in there. So is it Ward? I can't remember the guy's name. Anyways,
Denzel Ward. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good one too. They got some guys who can thump and hit and they can play. So I feel like the Steelers need those kind of teams coming to the house. Like the 49ers, we don't see them often. They just run over us, fine. But that's me, mate. That's me, mate from Canada. G'day, mate. He's not a Steelers fan at all. He's coming to support the show. He's a good bloke. When I was over there, because I've called myself Hooly Dooly, president of Hooly Dooly University. He loved that too. He loved that Hooly Dooly as well. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to mate for Nick from Canada. He's not a Steelers fan, but he's a Steelers fan at heart. So thanks, mate, for checking in, saying hello. Fantastic. But yeah, man, it's going to be very hard to, I think it's going to be very hard to stop the Browns rush, like the passing rush. If they get to Kenny, it's going to be, oh boy.
Oh, yeah. I swear every time Kenny get hit, he's like, an injury almost happened. Like think last week he got hit. Some people thought that he had concussion maybe because he hit his head. That should have been a flag. Like bounced back like that. Yeah, it's like he did a suplex. The way the guy went to the ground with him, Bosa, that should have been a flag. I think that should have been something. Was it should have been a penalty or something at least, but it wasn't. No. I think the ball was already out. He just got hit back. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with this team though, we have to try and slow down the rush. I think they're going to try and Browns fans. And by the way, every single Browns fans, if you're out there, you catch it later. Every single Browns fan I've seen has said they're going to win. So I wouldn't be too confident in that because you haven't done much in pretty much like 50 years since you won the last championship game. They reckon they're going to win this game. So I think it's a lot of false confidence. And maybe the same way we did it with the 49ers, right? Did you pick the 49ers to lose last week, us to win?
I picked us to win by a field goal.
Yeah, I picked us to win by 21.
I think a game-winning field goal would get a little lucky.
Yeah, I went all out there. Oh, we have news here. Giants are coming back. That's fantastic. What's the score there? Ooh, Giants 28-28. Far out. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the 49ers are going to win. They're 27-20 at the Rams 8. Cowboys have roused the Jets 30-10, so there's no playoff comeback for that one. Commanders up 27-24. The Broncos, man, they have some problems too. Problems as well. They seem like they have a good team every year, but then it doesn't seem to pan out. And Sam Howell is a rookie quarterback. He's killing them there too. Oh man. Anything more you want to add? We'll start to wrap it up soon a bit for this live, and then tomorrow we got you're doing a watch party tomorrow, right? As well. You're going crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see the world end after. What do you reckon?
If we lose my screen gonna play the purge music, purge sounds like this is not a drill. This is
all the doors locked down and
the world is ending.
Yeah, that does feel like that, doesn't it? It's like week 2. You know what? Sometimes I wish there was no social media. You could just watch the game in your own time and just see what happens. Because when there's social media involved, there's not. But any last thoughts you think is going to happen in this game, and maybe your prediction too? What's your prediction?
My prediction: I got the Steelers winning this game. I'll say 24-23. It come down to the wire. I think it'll come down to the very end.
I think it's mine.
Steelers get the ball. Kenny Pickett driving down. We on 4th down. You know, our heart was racing and stuff. You know, the fans are getting agitated. Kenny get the first down with a little scramble. You know, they go up there and clock it, and they bring Boswell out. And Boswell from 54 yards. 54-yard field goal for the win.
So you're going that way. I think mine's the same score, something similar. I've got the guys winning 24-23, but the other way where the Browns missed the field goal.
Oh, that might be the Steelers way, actually.
Like I'm thinking like 45 yards out, they're good to go. The Browns are like, oh, please. And then like somewhere from the heavens, a big gust of wind goes whoosh, and then just blows the ball away. And they're like, oh no, not again, Browns.
I always thought the Steelers built their stadium like that on purpose, like for the wind. The stadium open and the wind draft come out like that, the block on kicks and stuff.
They got guys out there with terrible towels doing this, because I think I had it 24-23. They go down for a field goal, and they miss the field goal, and we win. And then they're like, "Oh, you got lucky kind of style. You didn't win, you didn't do this." I was like, "Well, you suck." You know, same with the Bengals last year. They missed the field goal, then Minka blocked it.
Man, that game right there was crazy. That was a crazy game.
I was like, I consulted defeat twice. I was like,
we lost that game 3 times. We like,
I was like, this sucks. I just wanted to be over. I felt so sick. I was like, oh my goodness. And then Minka like came out and was like, bah! Like
the block. I was like, oh man,
it's still on, and then we won.
Yeah,
we just need a game that's like we haven't had a blowout or like a game won by. Look, last year was 28-40 against the Browns, but it didn't mean too much because we had to wait for the Jets to get in. We're nervous about that. But we just need a game where it's like, okay, Steelers win, I don't know, 31-13 or 17.
That's the Killer B days right there. Like Killer B days used to go crazy.
Yeah, we haven't got that. Gene's going to the game. There you go. Gene Smith in the house is going to the game. He's going to be decked up in all his Steeler gear, ready to fight the apocalypse because it's going to start there. That's where it's going to start. If the world ends tomorrow, it's going to be straight after the game.
You see Matt Canada at the game, slap him on the back of the head.
Steal his hat. Nah, he'll. You know what? It's so funny. It's so funny that we go from don't talk about him all off season to one really bad game. It's like we all hate him again. I feel that there must be so much pressure in that job. He's probably a nice guy. He's probably a good guy.
Yeah.
But that nature of the beast, isn't it? But if we lose tomorrow and the world's going to end, it's going to be what's that movie from Batman when the field gets all teared up?
Oh yeah, that was on
Heinz Ward.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, something like that. Toddy says don't bail early. Nah, Gene will be there. We're going to put Gene in the huddle. Gene's going to be the running back in the huddle. So No chance. No, it's going to be awesome. So thanks everyone for coming to chat. It's been a good time. Good catch up with yourself, DB. So you're doing the stream tomorrow too.
Yes,
I'll
yes.
try and I'm doing it as well. I'll try and give you a shout out too. So if you do follow this content here, it's still Oz, or you follow the Arsenal DB, then we can, go back and forth, or jump on two phones, have the big TV, and it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But that's it. I think that's it. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready for tomorrow. Are you ready for tomorrow?
I think so. On the first game, I was I was ready. I was real hyped up. Now I'm just waiting to see what happens. I'm just waiting to see what happens.
I think that's it just feel odd, doesn't it? It's like we're so excited, got our ass beat, and now we're just like, oh, can I be excited yet? Can I?
The 49ers humbled us a little bit. Like, oh yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl. Not my watch. And then so maybe
they've won. Yeah, they've won 2, I think, 30-20. They're going to win that game as well. So against the Rams,
they said Brock Purdy's averaging 30 points per game as a starter. I'm like, man,
really?
Yeah.
But he's doing, I guess, what we want us to do, right?
Yes,
a good quarterback, not make mistakes, and have a great defense and run game, and we haven't got that.
Yeah. All I want is a run game. That's all I need. All I need is a run game.
They ran today. They ran 17 carries, 105 yards for McCaffrey. Deebo Samuel's 35 yards, 145, 24 carries, and 24 passes. That's a very balanced game, and they're winning 30-20, right? And they've got, I think, 1 sack, and that's it. There's no interceptions, I don't think. No. So just a very balanced game too. So they're playing some good, solid football all around the park. Brock Purdy is nothing special, but he fits that offense, to a T. And also, Matthew Stafford too, 29-46. And who passed 46 times last week was Kenny Pickett. So
yeah,
they made them pass as well.
Unless you Patrick Mahomes, it's not going to work like that. Yeah, like passing the ball 40 times is not going to help you win unless you like that elite level guy.
Yep. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for checking out Still on Ice Australia. Will the world end if the Browns win tomorrow? That's the big question. We both had the Steelers winning, so hopefully the world won't end tomorrow. And I do apologize if this does they talk about what is it? Manifesting. Imagine if this manifests the world ending tomorrow. If next minute just explodes. My fault.
The Steelers disrupted time and caused the world to explode.
Terrible towers and then the universe opens up and explodes. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks, guys, for checking out Still on Ice Australia. As always, here we go, Steelers. Here